Hello and welcome to Dafters Puck. The 21-22 NHL season has got underway and we had an exciting opening night with two good games. What about those Penguins? Picking apart the Lightning, and then the Seattle Kraken, they took a loss in their opener, but they put up a good fight against the Golden Knights. So it was an exciting start, but the real start, of course, to the NHL season is when the oil get going. And we are well oiled looking at the Edmonton Oilers winning their opener. Hello, yes, the Edmonton Oilers got the job done in the end, beating the Vancouver Canucks after a shootout. It looked, until about the last 7.5 minutes of the game, that it was going to be a comfortable, straightforward 2-0 victory, thank you very much. But no, give some credit to the Canucks, they did fight back and got the game level at 2 apiece, so it went to overtime, no goals there. But thank you, Kyle Turris. He had a tough time of things last year, Kyle Turris with the team, but he is back with the team this year and he has started with a bang, scoring the winner in a shootout, and that is a great way to start the season. Here's a look at some of the key things from the game. First up, we have to think about a resplendent Rogers Place. Wasn't it wonderful seeing so many people at the game, cheering the team on in their orange and blue? And it has to be said, on that first night we got an immediate reminder of the clown show that they put together in Vegas with that tosser on a microphone and a stupid bit in the stands where they do stupid stuff. We don't need any of that nonsense. We just need proper hockey fans, as you have in Edmonton, and they cheered the team onto a victory. So for all you people who managed to get to Rogers Place for the opener, it's been a long time, I know, but you got a good one. And on to the players, and we have to start with the man who scored the first goal of the Oilers season, and that is Jesse Puljujarvi. Yes, he is a man who really came back to form last season. He's got everything you want. He's got the speed, he's got the skill, and he's got the strength. He was battling in front of the net, got the rebound, knocked it home, and then launched his arms into the air, roaring like a Swedish lion. The next man on the score sheet was Zach Hyman, one of our biggest additions of the off-season. What about that contract? Is it a bit rich? Yes, it probably is. But you know what they say, buy cheap, buy twice. We went out and bought a finished article, the man who's been doing it for years for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he was exactly as advertised. He's aggressive on the forecheck-in, he is going after people, getting in people's faces, roughing people up and getting stuck in, and showing plenty of speed and skill too. Now initially when we were looking in the preseason, it looked like he would be on the line with Connor McDavid, but they've decided to switch things up. Leon Draisaitl has gone back to the top line with McDavid and Puljujarvi, so Nuge is the centre on the second line with Yamamoto and the new man Zach Hyman, and it worked a treat. Both lines seemed to function well, but we also had the benefit of bringing Hyman together with McDavid and Puljujarvi on the power play, and that was the treat that made it 2-0. What a wonderful goal, absolute poetry emotion. McDavid to Leon Draisaitl, as easy as ice fried dry little, pushed it across straight away to Hyman, who got down on one knee, boshed it home. Fantastic way to start his Oilers career, and I think he's going to be a really, really good addition for the team this season. Well, that was pretty. What was not so pretty was the welcome that Duncan Keith had in his debut with the Oilers. Got whacked by someone, I can't remember who it was. It was a good hit, hard hit, but a good hit. Unfortunately, boshed his head against the boards, and that meant there was a drop of claret or two, so he had to go off the ice, but he did come back. And the other thing is, when there's a drop of claret going around and you need some help, who do you need to call? You need to call for a nurse. And that is Darnell Nurse. He was out there for I think 32 minutes across the game, put in a big old shift. And that's what we have to do right now. You know, the healthcare workers are digging deep and going the extra mile, and Darnell Nurse living up to the name, doing the good stuff for the Oilers. And talk about doing good stuff, Mike Smith. He is the much maligned Mike Smith, coming into the season with so many question marks over the Oilers goaltending tandem. Well, Mike Smith stepped up straight from the off, just as he did at the back end of last season. He was pulling off saves left, right and centre. Was a bit unlucky with the first goal, wasn't he, with the deflection, although it was the penalty that came back and killed us there. Perhaps was caught a little off guard with the second goal. He looked a bit unhappy with himself that he let that one through, but more than made amends for that in overtime with a couple of big saves and then doing the business in a shootout. So a great start for Mike Smith. And yes, we do have to pick up the one black mark in the game. The one thing that went against us, didn't go so well, was a bit of lack of discipline really. Zach Hyman getting a penalty right at the end of the second period. Then we had Chris Russell getting a penalty and Tyson Barry with the really costly one in the third period. So we need to clean things up there a bit, but otherwise it was a good effort all round by the Oilers to seal the win and get the win in the shootout. So with the first win on the board, we can turn our attention immediately to the Battle of Alberta. First game against the Calgary Flames. It is taking place on Saturday at Rogers Place. It's the early hours of Sunday for us here in the UK. I don't think it's on Premier Sports, so we can watch it on NHL.tv, and it should be a cracker. The Oilers getting out there and trying to put out those Flames. Brilliant start for the Oilers, getting the win on the board in exciting style, and it's been a great start to the season so far. I've watched quite a few games already, so it's fantastic to have hockey back, and the Oilers have started off in just the way we wanted.